because I used to sleep, like just to, rest. But I felt like that kind of pushed me more that, damn, my daughter's gonna need more than ever I had in life. So I gotta, I gotta really put the foot down on a lot of things that I feel like I grew. Like I planted the seed and they started to just grow. So now it's like I gotta keep flowering these things that I do to open up what I want in the future.
Welcome everyone to the Generational Dad Podcast. I'm your host Tony, and I have a special guest with me today. I've known this brother for 10 plus years. We went to high school together, and I've seen him grow through so many different stages, from a high school student to an artist to a music producer, and now a father, and amazing father. Daughter's beautiful, and I'll let him tell you his story. So I'll pass it over to you, Diz.
Like I said, Tony, my brother, it's an honor being here.
No, it's my honor. It's an honor for me.
Y'all, listen, this is a great podcast, and like I seen the last one you had with the other dad, and it's just like that's something to start up. Like I need to see more things like that. So for you to start that, I applaud you on that. You know
Thank
what I'm
you.
saying? The speaking on the dads and how much they do. You know what I'm saying? That people don't get to see sometimes. It's just like, with me, my caliber as a producer, I just feel like I'm like Batman. I was Superman and Batman at times.
Mm-hmm.
Like Batman, you come out night, get the job done. Superman during the day, you know what I'm saying? Take care of little one, take care of bills, build a business, whatever it is. Like I'm just on the go.
You're like a multi-tool. That's what I always think about when it comes to you. You're like a multi-tool. You
What they
are
say, machine? A machine?
you're a machine, right? Because you as like I said, from seeing from afar, because we're in like two different time zones, but seeing from afar, like you are always up. Like I don't know when do you sleep. Like I really don't know when you sleep. Like I'm surprised we could get on this call, but I don't know when do you sleep. Like
Like if I get good sleep, I feel like I poured out my whole creative side out. Like I made all the beats I needed to do, whatever it is. I feel like I'm at rest. I just need to relax. But you never know that time when that feeling of, did you do enough? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I always had that in the back of my head, never get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, all right, cool. Did a good deed today. Tomorrow, what's the new deed, or what's the new goal to attack? Like every day you gotta attack something to the point where we could just kick our feet up and the money just just flowing in.
Be financially
there's nothing
stable.
flowing. Yeah, like nothing is just flowing in. We gotta still go out and get it by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? So
no, and I think it's amazing because like you work all night. Like what I'm saying, you're in the studio, you work all night, and then it seems like you go home, get a cat nap, and wake up, and you're playing your daddy. You know what I'm saying? And that goes out through all day, and then go back in business. And that's what I'm saying. Like when I say I don't feel like you ever sleep, because like you're just going, you keep going, and that's why I'm happy you're on this episode today, and that's why I'm proud of you. Like I really could say I'm proud of you because you didn't let work become overbearing to the part where you forgot your other responsibilities, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You still am able to be an amazing dad and still be able to be an amazing provider. So to balance the two, you know what I'm saying, I think it takes a different caliber of person to do that.
if you get trapped in your thoughts, it's hard. I feel like it's like hard, like, but then it's like when you don't get trapped in your thoughts, it's like this is easy. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, it's what you let in your surroundings, what you put on your plate. So it's like you go to all you can eat buffet. How you know you're gonna finish the first plate? You know what I'm saying? If you're that hungry, you're gonna fill that plate up. If you know it's not that, you're just gonna put a little bit of whatever. Me per se, I used to put everything on my plate. And it's just like when there was so much, I started turning to people and start, going in my own head, and then I start feeling other, it's just a lot of emotions was coming up. And I'm like, you know what? Let me kind of start chopping down what makes me
filtering stuff.
Yeah, like what makes me like, I like good pressure. I don't like bad pressure. You know what I'm saying? So the good pressure part is like, again, when so much on the plate, you getting energy from different sides and different places. And it's like, yo, it's too much. then it's like you overbearing your real responsibilities because you trying to channel everything else in, and then you missing on things. So it's like when it came to my daughter, I felt like I never missed a step from her coming out, from her first step, her first words, her first falling. Everything was a first for me, and I felt good about it because it's like I balanced the two. Like the time that she's growing up, I feel like I really had to be doing other things, but I didn't. So it's like I feel like I didn't miss anything.
I wanted to ask you several questions. About your parenting journey, your journey as a father. So, besides birth, when was another realization that you realized that you was a dad? Like besides birth, like at what moment it
Like,
snapped a finger, like, oh damn, I'm a dad.
Like the changing Pampers stage. Like when you gotta consistently do the same thing of the baby powder and feeding and watching like the stage she is now is like, all right, she can fall asleep, I can just kick back and knowing that she's okay, versus before we gotta watch how they sleep. They're like very small, so it's like
You're
I'm
super
watching
nervous.
very nervous. So it's like I feel like in that part I think I gained that no sleep because I used to sleep like just to rest, but I felt like that kind of pushed me more that damn, my daughter's gonna need more than ever I had in life. So I gotta I gotta really put the foot down on a lot of things that I feel like I grew. Like I planted the seed and they started to just grow. So now it's like I gotta keep flowering these things that I do to open up what I want in the future. Like my future, like if I didn't have, I couldn't tell what my future is. Now I feel like I found what my future, like how I want my future to be, because my daughter, like it like she stopped me from like, yo, all right, you're gonna go through these emotions and certain things, but I'm gonna be here. For me, I'm your daughter. I'm not gonna go anywhere because I have my moments and be like, yo, I feel like I'm alone. This and that. I can't talk to my kids about what we dealing with. But nowadays, it's like she'll see it on my face and be like, yo, she'll be like, no, she'll say yo, but she'll be like, Daddy, you okay? You all right? And I'm looking at her like, yo, you're like 3, like asking me if I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
perspective.
it just, yeah, and half of the problems that I probably go through just kind of it just kind of dies. Like the energy, we on terror time or if it's beef, whatever it is, we high, we up here. But then it's like looking at her, I'll be like,
things don't matter no more. It kind of just fades.
The levels just go down and down and down, and then like I'm back to okay. But like I said, to fully answer your question, just the hitting me with the dad is definitely the Pampers and waking up, crying for bottles or whatever it is, like in that nature, like that time it hit me like for real. Like it's not like I could have just ignored it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna ignore a baby cry or what I'm
it's
saying.
Kind of
like,
hard to.
Yeah, like at one time, like me and our moms would look at each other like who's gonna do what first? You know what I'm saying? Like
who's going?
Who's gonna change the Pampers? What's gonna happen? So it was just like I felt in my time like I held it down. You know what I'm saying? Like my job was I'm a producer, but I made most of my drinks home. And I feel like being home now with my daughter a lot, it was just like I was learning, like learning from her. You know what I'm saying? Like
that bond too.
The bond was just extra. You know what I'm saying? Like I just but I didn't want to trap her with music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I kind of just don't create beats in front of her anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I want her to like still figure it out. Like, do you want to play basketball? Do you want to play football? I mean, not football, soccer. Because she like to do certain things and I see it. So it's like, if you want to be a producer, okay, but I don't want to feel like I'm forcing it because you just see me, doing it. So it's like, now it's like I work in the studio more than I work home versus, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, daddy went to work. Leave it as that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not
don't bring
get up
work
and
home.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like I never did that. Maybe, like, stressed out about things, but like I said, she don't give me the continuance of being mad or feel like pressure. Because people see their kids and go through things and be extra mad because they feel like, damn, I gotta find a job. You know, then you look at your child and you're like, oh. So people go do dumb things, as in like robbing a bank or a store just to get some money to provide for their kid. I get it, but it's just like ourselves, we got to control our emotions. Where it's like, all right, there are other ways to provide. There's other ways to not, get in trouble or whatever it is.
Oh no,
People
that's big
choosing
that you said
life.
that. That's big. I guess you're right. Pressure. I mean, pressure can be good or bad, but I think the perspective of, how do you channel that pressure? Because the same feeling is like when you look at your kid, and in that same example, when you look at your kid, the goal is to make sure you provide. Now, the avenue you choose after that frustration, it's up to you. Do you decompress it and be like, hey, I'm gonna figure it out, or you're gonna, do something bad in the process of figuring it out? So I think that was that was a pretty good perspective to think about it like that.
Yeah, you gotta stop and think. Like I said, my bad choices in life, I feel like was emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like I truly don't like say, oh, I hate somebody, whatever it is. It's just emotions. Like we wake up and go through our daily normal 1, 2, 3. And then it's like we're not around people that don't know that, that know us to know when we get up how we are feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you find yourself being mad at everything else because you feel like they should just know what you're going through, or you should know whatever. So like I said, come to a little girl or you know what I'm saying, like, or somebody's son, they're small, they're waking up and they're just going for what they want to, their
Going with the
lifestyle. Like
day.
they going with the day. We going with the pressures. Like I said, go back. We got to channel these emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and kind of, how should I say, just people need to focus on themselves at times and kind of build their immune system of things. It's not immune system of being sick, just immune system of a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like build it. Like everything is the immune
Patience,
system. The immune system
mental,
is the patience, mental, everything.
spiritual,
Because
everything.
in my time, if I person say, you know, give me a chance, I'm a change. It's like you got to really hear that part of give me a chance, because a chance part is not like somebody gonna say, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm good, tomorrow I'm straight. Give me a chance to change, because we just never gonna know. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of things that we are new to. If somebody went through it and they know how to channel it, then okay, they do. There are people that will fault you for things that they ain't even go through. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like
How can you condemn
how
me? And
how
it's
you know
like
what I'm saying? So
people that don't have kids and they tell you how to raise a kid, or like, oh, this is best for your kid, but they don't have kids. So it's like, how can you try to condemn me on something you have no knowledge of?
my point exactly. How? You know what I'm saying? So now it's just like uh I'm, you know, as a dad and found and like having that point of knowing that like depression, you know what I'm saying, going through the motions with that is is odd, it's odd
Mm-hmm.
because like I said, going back, we see our kid, um, we won't want the most for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we can be going through a good or bad situation, whatever it is, but we gotta know how to channel things just in case, we go off edge and then it's like, damn, you lost yourself.
No, I agree with you. So my second question for you is, where what was the hardest moment for you as a parent? Like, what would you say would be one of the hardest moments through the last 3 years?
I feel like the hardest moment to dad. I mean, I wouldn't say it's all. It's still in the same topic in a way, but it's just it goes as a family choice
Mm-hmm.
where it's like we go through what we go through. Then when we have our kids and stuff like that, we don't want to shape what we went through for them to go through the same cycle.
Like passing
So
on
I
the
felt
trauma.
like passing on trauma, passing on just hurt. You know what I'm saying? Pain,
Mm-hmm.
hurt, whatever it is. So I found myself, in times of my emotions picking the wrong choices.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you look at the outcomes of, damn, my daughter may not. you start the mind, may not see her dad, may not this, may not that. It's like, damn, I was going through something, but it was just like how to kind of stay strong about the situation. I feel like that was like her seeing things that I knew I seen when I was young, and I was like, I would never want my daughter to see that when she come up. So it's like that's the hard thing when you gotta deal with everything that's around you, knowing that if your child's right there, it's like she can't see what's going on, or like she's a sponge. Kids is a sponges nowadays. So
yeah, they are.
I have multiple moments of feeling like damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I can't really if I say one, it's like I say all of them. So it's like I had multiple moments on the downside of like being a dad, or just being the right father to my child. Like nothing crazy. It's just the fact that I felt like I should have did better. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not like something that went totally left and it's like, yeah, this was the most, like everything was been peachy and cool sailing, at my daughter and stuff like that. Everything is a learning experience for her. So it's like, but that's a soft spot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now I just watch myself, watch what's going on, and
because they're paying attention. Because they always are paying attention. They always are paying attention when you don't think that.
Yeah, some things would trigger them off, and it's like, she'll say something to me where it's like I kind of threw that behind my head, like I just let it just rest there, and then she'll just bring it up to me like, "Hey, Daddy, such and such and such and such and such," and I'll be like, why is that still in in your brain? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, things like that got to be worked upon. Where it's like, leave the kids out of the fire.
Yeah,
I should say, not actual fire, but leave them out the fire, because it hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for her to bring it up.
You know what I'm saying? Like it hurt me, where it's like, damn, I never channeled that in. You know what I'm saying? That's new to me. To know how that feels. Do I want that to continue? Nah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now, what do you do in this sense? Change. You know what I'm saying? Change everything about you. Change everything's around you. Just change fully. So it's just like the moments become better than being bad.
It catches you off guard a little bit, because kids doesn't have like younger kids don't have a sense of time. So everything is like yesterday or everything is today. So you could have said something 3 months ago and you said this yesterday. So,
you know
and it catches you off guard, because it'd be like, wow, this is what you retained at that moment. What else have you retained? Is what kind of would scare you a little bit. Like, what did you remember? And what and it makes you're right. It feels like, what am I teaching you?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like something was wrong, where it's just like I had to change things around and just kind of, better the situation however I could do it.
So what my next question for you is, what was a moment where you felt like you was uncomfortable as a father? I feel like being girl dads, it's a lot of moments.
Uncomfortable. I feel like I don't think I hit that stage, but I feel like I'm about to hit that stage where it's like, the girly things, the having the periods to the boyfriends and all that stuff that comes with that nature. So I feel like I didn't hit that moment yet to say like uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's gonna come.
It's, no, I'm saying I ain't hit that moment, but I feel like me having peace and having patience on certain things and just like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my daughter, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm gonna know her to that point where it's like some things I don't gotta feel pressure to think about. I should say, like, it's always gonna be there, but pressure as in, she's about to start school. So it's like you're around different kids. I don't know how they kids is raised, where it's like,
What are they
who hit
teaching your
kids,
kids?
right, you know what I'm saying? So she never had a moment where she said, okay, daddy, I was a bully or somebody's bothering me. Like, I felt like anytime I did hear her have those moments, it's like she protected herself. So I just was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? That's the ease up. Because like I said, a girl dad is tough. You know what I'm saying? Females, it's like, I won't say females don't get treated unfairly, whatever, but I've seen things in my past of women and a male just like either going at it, whatever it is, and it's just like I never seen a side where a male would just kind of like walk away from a situation. So it's like, all right, I would want somebody, if you feel like you had to argue with my daughter, walk away. Don't do the extra of, the fighting, arguing, somebody raising their hand, this and that, because now it's just like that's another test.
And
You know
that's
what I'm
another
saying?
uncomfortable spot.
It's uncomfortable. So like I said, I didn't hit those stages yet to feel like that. Like even, family, people have those scary parts of family members, like you'll see in the news, like the kids will go to daycare, somebody beat their kids and stuff, and the kids look crazy, and it's like and it's like, yo, this world is crazy where it's like, yo, these are the test moments. So what do you do? So me, I can't say what I would do. I'm the type would already know what I'm gonna do. It's like it's not gonna be a second guess with me. You know what I'm saying? Like people would second guess, like you think about, you lose it all or this and that. It's like lose it all, but this world is so nasty. It's like people don't give a.
Yeah,
You know
people
what I'm
don't care.
saying? They don't. So it's like, it's have faith nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Stay prayed up. You know what I'm saying? Stay on the good route. Whatever you put on your route, keep it that way. Whereas like, me, when I was on papers, I didn't say I didn't smoke a lot, but I feel like there was nothing wrong with smoking. And I never ever felt like it had to unless you want to go left about things. But now I just kick back. You know what I'm saying? Like I just, I don't think negative. I keep it clean. I keep it positive. Just like I said, kids are sponge. They see what you do. They look up to you. They however it go, you got to be on point nowadays. So me, I'm crazy about mine. So
And that's the amazing point. That's why I say I feel like all fathers that are crazy about their kids, they're amazing dads because you put them first. Everything you
yeah,
do revolves around them. It's not like a mainly selfish act. It's kind of like I'm doing all of this for my children, but I also want to be around so they understand that I'm giving my time and effort to do the work, time to be there with them. Because I mean, the most powerful father is a present father.
like my dad passed when I was like 20. No, my dad passed. I said me when he like 26, 27, 26, and I didn't have like I can't say I remember moments with him. There's pictures. I have pictures, and then my aunt and family members, and just always relating what he did, and they see what I'm doing. They be like, "Yeah, your father do the same thing," or whatever it is. So it's like, how did I channel, being that responsible? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I had that moments like helping my moms, my little brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like you have those moments where it's like, all right, my little brother. At one point, I always thought I was gonna have one. So then when I had another one, it was just like now he had the baby peak, and it's like I used to help out and watch him and certain things. It was just like I would do the same thing with mine. Like, but this is different. This is my child now. Like this,
It
it's a
feels
whole nother
different.
ball game. Yeah, it's a whole nother ball game. So it's like I feel like now when it comes to her, it's like like I'll tell my like when I first like used to bring her to my aunt and stuff like that. When I used to get back on the road, and I used to tell my aunt like, yeah, this is what she like, she don't like, whatever it is. And it's like when I did leave for that first time, my aunt was like, yo, I don't know who's worse, you or her, because y'all don't never know what y'all want to eat, whatever it is, and this and that. So it was just like funny that she's re-seeing me and her, but just a whole different version. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like my daughter is like at the age she is, I feel like she would skip class, not skip class, like skip a grade, I should say, not skip class, skip grade, just because that's how like
Forethought
channel
she
she
is.
in. It's crazy. I don't never asked anybody else as a parent, like, did they witness that at that age, or did it was a earlier age or a later age or whatever. But at 3, I'm feeling like you still a baby.
That that's good that you brought up, because like that's the reason why I made this podcast, because no one, sometimes we don't speak about our our kids, you know what I'm saying, because it's kind of like, not saying it's taboo, but it's different, because like when you first have a conversation with someone, you greet them, hey, how's the family, family's good, da 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 da, and then you move on to talk about other things that you guys have common interest in. And we fail to realize as fathers that the biggest common interest you have is being a dad. You know what I'm saying? But then it kind of separates, and I say you separate from the herd, you know what I'm saying? People that are involved in their kids' life, you hear about it more. The people that aren't can't really relate with you so much. Like, yeah, I have kids, but I'm not around enough to share stories with you or share experiences because I'm not there. So sometimes that's the struggle when it comes to a lot of fathers not talking about their kids. But I think we should be able to make it a normal thing, because your kids are, it's your legacy. That's how I always look at it. My kids are my legacy. Like, if I leave this world, the only person that's going to speak my gospel is my kids.
Right. So that's why it's just like, still there's people that really be too perfect, and there's people that be too, I don't know the other word, but
It's okay to, to fail. I think failure shows you how to be better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get better if you don't fail, because then you don't know you don't know what your limit is, and you don't know what your bottom is.
I said
So
this the other day. That's crazy you said that, because I said that the other day, where it's like there's a lot of things that I know I will want to do. I had the moment of thinking like people are not going to accept it, they're not going to jack whatever it is, but it's like I just said 2 days ago that keep doing whatever you're doing. People gonna, regardless, they ain't gonna mess with you now. Some
they
way
won't mess
somehow they
with you
gonna mess
later.
with you later. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that generally could say, "Nah, I'm good." There's some people that could say, "Yeah, I'm good," and then be like, "Yo, this person is the hottest person, whatever." And it's just like, I nurture people's words because I can see how they work with me.
Yeah.
Like, if you could tell me you don't like somebody, you know, and not to say it's one day, whatever. Like, the person could be out as an artist for like a couple months or a couple years, and now it's like they're hot and they're like, yeah, this and that, boom, boom, rocking with this person, this and that. And sometimes I'll be like,
But you wasn't rocking with them before.
so I got to look at you a certain way, because it's like you didn't keep it 100 with me, and it's not even about me. It's the fact what you're telling me. I feel like if you speak to me about something, or you just whatever it is around me, whatever, like, it's like you gotta keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody say, "All right, how you gonna feel later? Were you gonna still rock with them or not?" Some people are like, "All right, I'm still not gonna," and then they rock with them. Somebody that keep it 100 be like, "Nah, maybe right now, I ain't gonna like the person. Let's see how they are later in life. Maybe I like them then." I respect that comment than anything, because it's like,
Because
you're not
you give room for growth.
right. You're not. People give no room for growth, so it's like, you stay right there. You know what I'm saying? I got things to do. I got goals to catch, to meet. I feel like some of my goals are some people goals too, as in getting a stable home, just property, whatever it is. I feel like some people on the same page, but they so glued to everything that's going on around them that it's like they can't
Focus on their goal.
match, they focus on their goals. So me, I feel like, yeah, I'm losing friends or losing family members or whatever, because my mindset and my space is maybe not for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this is just my dreams I need to push, and you just got to support it, or you don't got to support it, but that's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel like you're an asset for something, then I'll put you on board. Other than that, I'm a producer. Ain't too much I need to say to put somebody on board. Now it's like I'm looking at who already in the field, who already mastered it. We got to
No,
work
yeah.
smarter, not harder. Harder is like getting a bunch of everybody new. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already had business. I already had partners. I just changed the subtitles of their names.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go find the manager. I didn't go find. I only probably found producers because I'm doing a producer camp, but I don't feel like I found them because I feel like I was already working with them.
You
You
just
know what I'm
put them in a
saying?
different category.
I put them in a different category. And then on top of that, I feel like, you know, if I feel I can help you without it bothering me, I'm going to do so. That's just me. I'm big on that, where I feel like I could see things that somebody may not see. And I ain't going to shoot you about it. I ain't going to, yo, you ain't listening. Just know I said it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you fail, it's cool. Yo, damn, did say that.
I
All right,
spoon
so
fed you the
next,
knowledge.
you know what I'm saying? So the next time you do shoot at it, if you feel you want to ask me, go ahead. I ain't going to knock you. But I could knock you if you just keep hitting the same potholes. And I'm like, yo, they're right there. Move. And you're like, nah, my rims is good. Right. And then your rims is bent. Now you're like, yo, I need to connect to the rims because
Yeah, it's because you're being stubborn.
You're being stubborn. I don't like stubborn people, nor do I like people being comfortable. We should not ever feel like we're comfortable. Like I always said, until we have money just flowing in, it's always good to do new business, get new business, but it's about working smarter. So people get new business and venues, they still sitting on their old business and still collecting more money from the old business and they just chilling, but they like, shoot, you know what? Let me make some more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always the doors for that. And I feel like people get stuck. Like, you go in the music world, it's like, yeah, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a singer. And then they get just stop right there. Like, no.
Because they
I'm the
limit
type,
themselves.
and I can't be around them type of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's never that, you know, you're going to get the Hollywood, you this and that. And it's like, yo, I got my daughter's getting older. She's 3. Yeah, it's a couple more years to certain things, but I feel like I always been ahead of the game. Before she was born, I ain't had my own spot. I got her my own spot before she was born. You know what I'm saying? Me and mom got a spot literally before she was born. I even said it to my aunt. My aunt has been like, yeah, you could, you know, and you know, this home, nah, I'm not doing that. And I want to raise in my own, like, just something. I still want to have those moments to say, yeah, we used to live there. Then we moved over there. Not just, oh, I raised you in my aunt's house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do that. I want to change the narrative of things. Like, I was in and out of jail. I stopped being in and out of jail when she was born. You know what I'm saying? Then I finally get her papers. I didn't catch a new charge and got more time or had to go back in. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things changed. But that was me pushing it with a little bit of her help because I can't say that she changed everything off the rip. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it gave me, she's like my warning. Like, she's my
motivation.
warning, my rock, my everything. Just to that point, to you look at her like, I don't want to ever forget this face. I don't want to ever not want to see this face. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably call 2 times, 3 times in a day if I'm on the road. What you doing? I don't care if you're doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, and then her excitement when I call is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
it's like money.
It's like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not who my dad is. Like, I feel like the proper steps I needed to take upon, I already aced that.
You established
like,
a foundation.
I established that when she first walked. That was probably like my biggest moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, her dad, like, literally getting up and stepping, and I'm like, oh shoot, my phone, catching it, and it's like, I'm here to catch these moments versus not being here to catch these moments. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I think that's you summed it all up. It's like just paying attention to that face and not disappointing it and not you know what I'm saying, not forgetting it and not forgetting what's everything is being done for. But my next question for you was when was a moment where you and your daughter's mother had a hard struggle in parenting? Like, when was maybe you guys didn't agree on something or it was something you guys had to work through?
I don't think, like, I think I made the situation kind of comfortable because how I had my life set up in a way before, like, of course, my music, like, business is going to grow and grow, and then you become more busier. So I feel like I haven't been that busy back then. I feel like if I was to make myself busy, is to make myself a situation to kind of get another situation because nothing was handed to me. You know what I'm saying? I had to really get everything. So I felt in those moments where it's like, I don't feel like we had a hard like, oh, the money not. I don't. Only time I can say that is if if we bumping heads,
Mm-hmm.
moments. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, when was the moment you guys bump heads where you in
we
parenting?
we when we bump heads, but it's like life lessons, like
Mm-hmm.
learn. Like it's not something where it's like how I see for it now is like it is what it is. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But you just can't let like I'll speak to myself. Don't let yourself get out of character. You know what I'm saying? Like stay who you are, this and that. Lead by example. Because if one person bickering and the next person bickering, and I just bump their heads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like so it's either you don't do nothing and just let it kind of
Gel.
just let it just like kind of let it place itself. But I don't.
And that's
Some
good.
things haven't. Some
That's
things
actually a
ain't.
good thing.
Yeah. Some things haven't. Where I feel like, oh, the money or this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was already on. That's like number one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like not to mess up those traits where it's like, all right, you don't work, then no money coming, then you have no roof over your head. You know what I'm saying? Then it's just goes to
And that's a
chicks.
good thing. That's like not every situation. I know sometimes it's like what is wrong, what's wrong, but no, that's good that you guys have a cohesive, parenting. You guys are you guys are parenting together cohesively. That's always a good thing. Trust me. I mean, if you don't experience, I pray you don't experience none of those moments. I guess that's one of the things I want to say. Like I pray you don't have to, and you guys are always on
Mm-hmm.
the same page because it makes life easier, makes the kids' lives easier. Like
Yeah, like I
because
said, some things is all said and like done. You know what I'm saying? Some things already. That's why it goes back to when I was saying like having that moment of that happening, but it's like that's the only thing that hurt because it goes back to the kids, whereas like they experience something, and it's
mm-hmm.
like sometimes to them it's like a trauma to them
Yeah.
later in life. So it's like we don't want no more of that. Like fix ourselves or the surroundings to make sure that doesn't go
Affect
into
them.
the effect, the little one. So that's I should say. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just anything that goes on, I keep my daughter away from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not about they gonna go through it.
I think your service is cutting in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think your Wi-Fi was cutting in and out.
We good now?
Yeah. We good now.
Okay. Yeah, but it's just like I said, setting an example. Like I said, I had a lot of moments where I learned from, and it just kind of built my mentality differently. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at ease. I'm at peace now, I should say.
And
Of a lot of things.
that's always good that you find peace at this time. So I usually end the questions with what advice would you give other parents? Whether it's someone in your situation where, a dad that's working, at crazy hours and trying to, set up the foundation for the family, or just a dad that, or you're friends with and stuff like that. Like what advice would you give that you feel like helped you out or you learned?
Make sure the kids is happy. I learned that like let them grow. You know what I'm saying? Like I see people kind of force their kids to be doing other things. Not force like, but in a way where it's like if you're gonna
They
take
try to
put designer
tailor it.
clothes. Yeah, like if you put designer on your kid and all they know is just Gucci, Louis, this and that, it's like we already gonna see where things is gonna go.
Go.
So it's like I should like if you want whatever results you want out of life, well, you gotta start from when they're a baby. Start like channeling things like like I said, I feel like I was blessed because I'm a producer, so I work from home. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like if I'm not working from home, regardless of the fact, I had moments where I could stay home and just
You could
watch
take
my
that
daughter.
break.
Yeah, like eat her first meal, how she play with toys, what she do. She jumping off the wall, she not jumping off the wall. Uh, just any little moment. Like I watch everything. Like I know my child to that point. So it's like I'm that parent. Like you say one thing to me about my child, like yeah, you're lying. Like, like I really give you the 100% face. Like, no,
I know my kid.
Right. But again, still, if something is new, we kind of look upon it. Where is it coming from? You know what I'm saying? So people play dumb. You know why they? I don't know. I don't. You know, yes, you do. You control what they see. You can control what they hear. You know what I'm saying? You control what they eat until at the point where it's like we don't know if our kid would like McDonald's as soon as they come out the womb.
Mm-hmm. It's
You know
what you give them.
Like, we are the one that's feeding them from the jump. So once they get to a certain age, it's like our own little robot that we kind of nurture just to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like people say, you got terrorism, you got like the people that, you know, kids be knowing how to disinfect a bomb or whatever, how it is. How would they know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are they learning this from? You don't even got to sometimes learn things to people. You could sit them in front of a TV and they'll learn themselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. Like, could you, as a parent, you control what's going on. So you want your kids' future to be how you want it to be. Control it from now as a new parent, or if you're in a middle stage parent where it's like they didn't hit teenager side yet, or I should say teenager side. Yeah, teenager side. But
yeah, I agree with you. You kind of surround them with what, you know, what they need to, what they're exposed to. You're the one, you know, because they don't know what they are exposed to. It's what you allow.
Yeah, it's what you allow. So it's like I don't allow a lot of things where it's just like she ain't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Like at all.
And
Whatever it is.
And then, you know, knowing when new stuff when new stuff is introduced to your home, you know, it's coming from somewhere.
Oh yeah. Trust me, I'm very observant. Like my child goes from, you know, having manners, you know, can you open this please? Thank you, this and that, and then versus open it. It's like
Where you getting that? Like, where's this attitude coming from?
you know what I'm saying? So it's like things like that. You know, like I said, I take upon, I watch, observe. But other than that, it's just stuff. Being in that, like I said, it's not right. It's what you put on your plate. Like there's times I put a lot on my plate where it's like, okay, back to back studio. But knowing deep down, I'll be like, I just want to chill with my kid. You know, I already went to work. I already did what I did. I just want to go lay down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now I control that where I don't got to feel like that. All right, hey, you busy? You this and that. I control my schedule. You know what I'm saying?
And that's always that's always the best, is when you have that ability and that autonomy to kind of control your schedule. But bro, I thank you so much for being a part of the show. I know that the viewers are going to get so much from this. I promise you, this is a lot of content. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You're a working machine and a dad. You're like a robot dad. You're making it happen with, I think it feels like you sleep for like 2 hours and then you're up again. So
I'm up again. You know what I'm saying? So some of my bros be saying the same thing. I'll leave the studio. I'll be back in the studio. They be like, yo, bro, you just left at 6. Why are you here at 8?
Yeah. But if as long as your kid is getting all of you, you know how to balance it. No one can tell you your schedule or how to do it.
And it goes back to when I mean the stages. Like the stage they are now is like, yeah, you know, no. Well, now it's like, all right, she could play on her own. She could do certain things on her own. Before it's like you couldn't do that. You know, they need change their diapers. They're not changing their diapers. They're not making their own bottles. Like I feel like my daughter opens up the refrigerator now on her own, and she just be like, I can't reach it, or she'll come to me like start eating whatever it is, and be like, yeah, Dad, I got apples. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's the best part, when things start getting easier. But bro, I thank you for coming on the show. Like I said, everybody's gonna get some great content for this, and I'll drop all your information on the description box. So if you guys want to get in contact with Diz, just reach out to him. If you working on music wise, wanted to know more about him as a father, him as a producer, being a father and doing all this stuff, you guys are gonna get great content. You can reach out to him, and I believe he'll give as much information as help as he can, because this is what this show is about, is giving back to other fathers and
Giving
helping
back.
each other out and building a community. That's what it is about. But
Yeah,
thank you guys
I
for
start
tuning
seeing
in.
people. I would say that's like before we end up, I did see like a couple, you know, parents kind of, ask for some advice. They'll see me, be in the studio. Like I had my daughter in the studio with me probably when she was before one. But I parented in the right way where I had the headphones and certain things to not, going in there and just blasting off her ears because you know me, I like things loud.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I feel like that's probably her last time being in the studio with me. Like actually being in the studio. If I'm just me and her, I feel like now I could just really not be bothered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because she the type would just Dad, let me use your iPad and just want to be on my iPad and do whatever. And I work. It's the same way. It's just a different environment, but it's like she don't bother. Like it's perfect.
And sometimes the kids just want to be around you.
Yeah, and again, she's perfect. It's not too much. It's not none of the actionness. Like it's just, I'm doing the best I can. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do more and more and more and more. But
and that's all we can do, is to do the best we can.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
But again, like I said, thank you for coming on the show. I'm honored and I'm grateful for you because I know you're a busybody. But
sure, yeah.
Busy body. But I'm going to end the show. But thank you guys for paying attention and tuning in. If you want to get more content, just subscribe to the channel, and you'll get more content, more interviews. Listen to more dads and their journeys and their stories and experiences of how they attack fatherhood and parent. So thank you guys, and we're out.
All right.